Starting the biggest story tonight with the interview of the officer. He's a serving officer who investigated Yasin Malik. Yasin Malik has been sent to life imprisonment, and for the first time on TV, this serving officer who went to Kashmir anonymously to investigate Yasin Malik. He has spoken to Republic TV Shravan Sen. His name is GP Singh and he's the Assam Police Special DGP Law and Order. And he breaks the silence on how Yasin Malik was investigated. Let's play that out.
Joining us on this very special broadcast is Special DGP Law and Order of Assam Police. But that's not all. He's been the IG, NIA, former SPG, and we're delighted to have Mr. GP on this broadcast on a day when Yasin Malik has been convicted. Sir, thank you very much for speaking to Republic Media Network. Not often that you agree to speak to the media, but today is a very important day. There was a time before 2017 that no one really thought that any central agency would be in a position to carry out any investigation against terrorist Yasin Malik. But you were there at the forefront, you led your team from the front, and many would say, how did that really happen? What were the big challenges that the NIA essentially faced back in 2017 when this case was registered? And we saw multiple raids being carried out and thereafter a slew of evidence that came in.
Thank you very much for calling me in. And it's really a special day for me because all the hard work that our teams had done during 2017-18 has started bearing fruit now. Well, I would say that almost it was a strong resolve of the government of India that the lawlessness in Kashmir would not be tolerated and the might of the government and the rule of law has to be established there. It was in this context that instructions were issued by the then DG, Mr. Sharad Kumar, directing the NIA teams to ensure that evidence is collected against these Hurriyat leaders in this particular case where there was involvement of Pak-based terrorist organizations like Hizbul Mujahideen, then Lashkar-e-Toiba and Millat, and these were the groups which were basically collecting money from formal and informal channels of Pakistan, and they were being then passed on and routed to the separatist leaders in Kashmir Valley for the purpose of lawlessness on the grounds, attacking, targeting government property, targeting security forces, and things like that. It was the biggest challenge at that time was that because of large-scale burns, stone pelting, etc., our teams were unable to really make a headway into collecting the evidence. I would like to say one thing here that because I stayed for a long time in Kashmir Valley, the youngsters, the youth, were not so much into protests. They were actually being forced by organizations like Hizbul Mujahideen, Lashkar-e-Toiba and the Millat to come out onto the streets, backed by the funds that were provided to them from formal and informal channels from Pakistan.
I wanted to ask you another question with regards to Yasin Malik's Pakistan connection. Now, this was known to many. In fact, journalists like us who've been covering the agencies for a very long time knew that there was a Pakistan connection. So hence, I want to ask you this question. Why did it take the agency so many years to document this association? And secondly, in your opinion, what do you think was the clinching evidence against Yasin Malik that worked in the favor of the National Investigation Agency?
As I said earlier, I think the point that we need to remember is that it was the strong resolve and will of the government of India that we have to break this cycle of violence and disorderliness in Kashmir. And it was because of this strong resolve that all the agencies, the intelligence and the law enforcement agencies worked together to find this evidence. As I recollect from those days, it was basically the details of financial transactions from formal and informal channels of Pakistan into the hands of various players and actors belonging to Hurriyat. And then how this entire business was of collection of money was then connected to the formalized protest program that was formulated by Hurriyat Conference. And then through these organizations like the Quran and Millat, how these people are brought onto the streets of various towns and cities of Kashmir Valley for the purpose of causing disorderliness in the society.
One final question, Mr. Singh, before I let you go. This is with regards to what does this mean, this entire conviction of Yasin Malik for Naya Bharat? Because let's not forget those very images of Yasin Malik running free for a very long time within the political circles, and it had perhaps pained a lot of people as to why this man was given such a free run.
I'll come back to the same thing, that this Naya Bharat that we talk of today is reflective of the strong resolve and will of the present government, the present political leadership of the country, which does not want to take things lying down. If there is anything which is Rashtradrah, it is Rashtradrah. And it has to be confronted with full might of the government. All agencies of the government work together to ensure that those who are not Rashtrats but are Rashtradrahis are taken to task.
Mr. Singh, thank you very much for speaking to Republic Media Network. And I would just like to say this, for someone who's covered the agencies for this long, today the entire nation would be thanking you and your entire team. The countless sacrifices that are essentially made by officers like you, and who always want to be in the backdrop. They do not want to come and tell the media of the kind of hard work that you all have done. But today, the entire nation, Mr. GP Singh and your team, salutes you for the kind of work that you have put forth and the kind of evidence that you've put forth before the court. Thank you so much for speaking to us.